the author of the ABCs of Inclusion and the parent of a special needs child. My son Cooper was born deaf, and he was the inspiration behind writing this book. And today I have with me Veronica Arvidsson and Rachel Goldberg, both parents of special needs children as well.
I see it all the time from parents who are like, oh, worried about if their kid is gonna like push her or hurt her or something. And I'm like,
worry about the other way.
She'll push back. But also kids are just kids. They just see another kid.
Yeah.
I feel like it's us adults that place all this like, oh, they're different on it. Mm-hmm. And making those separations.
The adults are leading by example. The more question the parents are asking, the more their children are watching how they react to children with special needs and disabilities. So I think it's huge.
That's why shushing can be so damaging.
Yeah.
And I know it's so natural for parents because they're just worried about
our
us,
feelings, right.
But it's the fastest way to tell a kid that they did something wrong.
Right, and to
And
not
I'm like,
ask questions.
oh gosh, I jump in there so fast if I ever see a parent do that to a kid because I'm like, no. We are fine. Mm-hmm. Please have this child come over. But it can be because they are mimicking their parents. And I know, again, it's not coming from a bad place. It's coming from I don't want my kid to cause damage. Mm-hmm. But wow, that can stifle curiosity so quickly. You called me and you're like, I know what he has. And I'm like, girl, you have gone down a rabbit hole. But she was right. And that's something I tell all moms with any type of child. I don't care if they have a disability or not, but your mother, you know your kid better than anybody, even their own father. You carried that child inside your body. Your body knows that baby. I knew Isla had Down syndrome when they handed her to me. Tyler thought I was crazy because he's like, you've been in labor for 3 days. You're insane.
You
I
trust
knew
that
immediately.
mom gut.
I knew it immediately.
Yeah.
She knew
Yeah.
immediately. Moms know and never ever question that. You think your kid is sick and there's no other signs except for that you think they're sick, you bring them in.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10 you're right. And so I've always carried that with me.
That brings up a good point too. So Cooper's his clinical diagnosis is Waardenburg syndrome, which one of the main components is being deaf or having hearing loss. And as soon as I came across that, I was like, yep, like all of these fit. And so Rachel was the one who actually was like, you can see a different doctor. And like that hadn't occurred to me. And so she actually recommended, their family doctor who we went and saw, and he immediately was validating and put in a referral, and like things moved so much more quickly than I just felt like there was a lot of wait and see. And I didn't want to wait and see. Like I wanted to do.
Well, especially when you know.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm a mother. This is my child.
So
listen to me.
I think that's important to note too, is that even within this community, if you don't, jive with a professional, typically there's probably somebody else you will.
Absolutely.
I think too, one thing that I've come to realize, which you don't, when you're like in the midst of it, you don't know that it's not typical, is that Minnesota is an amazing state when it comes to early intervention. We have that 0 to 3 program. Most states don't. Most states don't do anything through their school district until a child's 3, which Cooper's 3.5. Like I can't imagine not having had that team along the way. And Alexandria specifically, because I even hear, stories from other Minnesota parents who have a really hard time with their district or don't feel like they push for the resources. We've had an amazing experience. The deaf and hard of hearing teacher here, everybody on his team has they went and they bought the microphone he uses for his FM system. Not only did they buy it, we get to take it home. Like they go above and beyond to make sure that all of those resources are there in the educational systems, but also outside of them. And I think that's just really worth a shout out.
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely, 100%.
I get asked all the time if we live near a school for the deaf, and obviously the answer is no. But honestly, I can say even if we did, I would still be mainstreaming him with the support that we have.
Definitely. I credit a lot of Isla's progress or whatever to the early intervention. And Isla didn't really struggle with anything for a really long time. She was not in the NICU. I still to this day have never met a child with Down syndrome that hasn't been in a NICU. I think they just automatically send them. We don't have one. And they're like, are we going to helicopter this baby? Well, she doesn't really need it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't understand why you guys are here. She's just like, she's a baby, Sully was kind of the same way. But they were there every single month, and they were just like, look at her go, like she's doing so well. And
at that point, it's for the parents. It's to like the resources. And
absolutely. But it was such a cool thing to see that they were like, no, this is real. This is what we do.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I've told other parents that, oh, our district's been involved with her since she was 2 months old. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah. And I credit a lot of her speech, which is really good, and a lot of her size even, because somebody noticed that she wasn't eating properly. We have amazing medical staff. We have amazing therapists. Even just like at the hospital, you don't even have to do like private therapy. Our like county hospital therapists
Yep,
are
and
like
it's
amazing.
Yep, amazing.
I know a lot of people in the cities who travel for therapies. And I'm like, God, we're lucky.
We are.
We're so lucky we don't have to.